Hey, I'm Ashley Robertson, and I'm going to reveal the 10 mind hacks to dramatically increase your chances of getting healthier and losing weight forever. And I say mind hack because that's exactly what we need to reprogram here. It's our minds that are getting in the way of us losing that weight forever, of us getting healthier and eating the foods that we need to be eating. So let's go ahead and take a deep dive straight on in. Number one is defining your why. Why do you want to be healthier? Why are you wanting to lose weight? Are you trying to improve an illness you've been suffering from way too long? Your why is going to help keep you on track, especially during those super challenging times where you doubt yourself and the ability you have to carry out your new lifestyle. So once you get going with the healthier changes that you're going to learn in another video, you're going to need to come back to your why whenever you face those struggling moments. And trust me, we've all been there. I face them all the time. It's just a natural part of life. So that's why reprogramming your brain and equipping you with how to handle these moments is a critical thing before you start any program. No matter what goals you have or what you're trying to do, all of these tools can apply to those. Now we're going to expand on our why. Number two, it's goal setting and daily affirmations. So in addition, now we've gone over our why, we need to go over any other goals that we may have that are kind of outside of the why, like, maybe what examples are what examples are there of the body that you want to be? What's it going to take to achieve it? What challenges stand in your way? In your life what those challenges are going to be. Maybe you work in a corporate office and there's somebody bringing donuts in every day. Well, that's definitely going to be a challenge, and that's definitely going to have to be something that you prepare yourself on how to work around. And we'll get to that here in a second. This is the most important step, and it may seem so obvious. Write them down. Whether you want to use post-it notes, journal, use virtual post-it notes. There's a post-it note app that I have on my computer that I take the most important affirmations I have and I put those on my post-its, and then I journal out everything else. And maybe you don't have time to journal every single day, and that's perfectly fine, but write this out and just keep it somewhere that you can see it. If you like to type things on your computer, then use Word, Notepad, Evernote. The list goes on. You have so many tools that you're going to be able to use. You can even get creative and have fun with it. I have some clients that love this step. Create a dream board. That's where Pinterest, that's one of the great things about Pinterest, is finding all these images, and then there's Google Images or whatever search engine. A lot of those do have images. Then you can use a frame app, or you can use Fireworks or Photoshop or basically anything to put these all together and make it a dream board. Now, if you don't want to use your computer, you can also put magazine clippings together and frame it, hang it somewhere. But super important that you put it somewhere that you see it. And the most important thing is going over this first thing when you wake up. And you know what some of your goals are. You don't even really need to look at your journal when you first wake up in the morning. Just say it in your mind when you get up. Go over it in your mind. And then the last thing you do before you go to bed. So when you wake up in the morning, you start your day off with your goals and completely in mind with you. And when you go to bed at night, you have the intention of going to bed with your goals in mind. Those are the two critical steps with that. But I encourage you to read them, as many times as you can throughout the day. Remind yourself, and it may get redundant. So now we're going to strengthen our affirmations with these two little words, I am. I loved the teachings of Dr. Wayne Dyer and the power of saying I am and visualizing that you've already achieved your goals. What an insane amount of intention it creates within your energy, and it just moves you forward. And it just the power. I encourage you to just try it. Just visualize you've already achieved your goals and take that feeling. How good does it feel? I am healthy. I am happy with my body. I am 10 pounds lighter. I am successful. I am love. I am whatever it is you want. Say it. Say that. Say it. Own it. Make it in your mind as if you've already done it, and you'll give yourself a lot less excuses to get out of the journey to achieve it. Now now that we kind of touched on the importance of these feelings, we're going to use feelings to our advantage here. Number 4 is establish pain and pleasure links. Life is centered around the twin pillars, pleasure and pain. We naturally seek out things that bring us pleasure, and we tend to avoid whatever makes us feel pain. And you guys, this is where our brains have got everything all twisted up. No thanks to our toxic, processed world. We know we need to be limiting or staying away from processed foods and refined sugars. We know this, and yet we have pleasure links with it. We have pleasure links because of how good it tastes, and trust me, these big food companies have food scientists that are making it taste that way, that are making the food actually addictive for you to return to, and yet we're not getting any nourishment out of it. They're making us sick. So whatever health issue that you have, you can associate that with certain foods that you're eating. I know I've been able to, anytime I indulge with sugar, I get anxious and itchy, and then you sugar crash later on. So it's really important to point those out, write these out. What are your pain links with, what is your pain link right now? Why are you wanting to make these changes? You obviously have experienced a pain link, and we need to swap these things around here. And just keep in mind that the pleasure is in eating real, whole, fresh foods. And trust me, there are lots of easy ways, easy recipes, and all kinds of tips and tricks with that, and we will be going over that in another video for sure. But it's so important to eat real food as often as possible. It's also important to be aware of any pain links you've created that are roadblocks to your goals. So, have you created losing weight is a pain link for you? Is getting healthier a pain link for you? Is staying on that medicine versus eating vegetables a pain link for you? You need to identify this, and that's where we kind of got to dig in and reprogram your brain and change up these pain and pleasure links. And I know that's not easy, but I do have a trick for that, and that's where we come into number 5. We have to create healthier trade-offs. It's so hard to create pain links to the bad foods if you don't have a healthier trade-off to link it to. So I'll give you a couple of examples. One is when I was detoxing last time, I knew I had to give up my wine and cheese, which are some little indulgences I would have every night with dinner. So I had to create a healthier trade-off to get through this 10-day detox I was doing. And so my trade-off for wine, I found these yummy teas, and I would only sip on them when I would have wine with dinner. Instead of getting the wine, I would get this yummy tea. And on some nights, I would add a touch of sparkling water to it, and it really helped me. I would sip it in a wine glass and everything. Then to offset my cheese craving, which, by the way, cheese is super high in casein, which releases even more opiates in your brain, which makes it that much more addictive. Opiates is a pleasure receptor, just kind of like sugar lights up your dopamine. It's a different receptor, but they're both pleasure and addictive receptors in our minds. And that might be, if you're like me, why you're a little more protective of your cheese than you are of any other dairy. There's definitely a reason for that. So for me to create that trade-off with the cheese, I have these no-guilt puddings that I came up with using coconut milk. I would skim the coconut milk fat off the top of the can. You can refrigerate it for an hour or two, and it gets harder and easier to scrape that off. And then I would mix it with organic monk fruit, some raw cacao powder, a splash of cinnamon, a little pink Himalayan salt. Mix it all up, and there's this awesome pudding that I'm indulging in, and instead of getting into my cheese. So, and it was detox friendly, healthy lifestyle friendly. Organic monk fruit or organic stevia are fantastic 0-calorie natural plant-based sweeteners. I love using them, and I'm actually a huge fan of the monk fruit. So see, I just gave you this awesome little chocolate pudding recipe. Go ahead and add in a little dash of vanilla extract or whatever other flavorings you want to, and trade out whatever if you're eating, a bunch of Oreos, trade your Oreos, establish the pain link. The Oreos are making you fat and they're making you feel bad. Establish the pain link with that. Create the healthier trade-off. Wow, this pudding tastes insane. It's amazing. And it's helping me achieve my goals. And what? I'm still having chocolate? Heck yes, double score. Healthier trade-offs rock, you guys. They do taste good. It's just a matter of finding the ones you like. There's millions of recipes out there, and I have a bunch of recipes that I'll be sharing with you too. Number 6, ignore some of your feelings. Remember, we're using our feelings for the pleasure and pain links, but there's some feelings that I just stand strongly behind that you absolutely need to ignore when you're trying to achieve your goals. And that's that voice in your head that says, ugh, I don't feel like it. You need to train yourself to override this resisting voice. Because and power of now is one of the ways I like to do it. And oftentimes you may or may not be in a position to act immediately and do the power of now. Like I know I got to work out, but I don't feel like doing it. Get up and do it right now. I work from home, so that's easy for me to do. Just get up and do it right now. But if I'm busy and in the middle of something and I haven't gotten my workout in, or I'm being tempted with the food and I know it's not an indulgence time that I can allow myself, I need to put that thought back on the conveyor belt of thoughts and try my best to think of something else and distract myself. Distracting yourself is huge. And that technique also works with little ones. Like I remember using that all the time with my son. Just every time he would get upset or get a little ornery with me, I would distract him with a whole new thing. And now he's completely over that moment. So use that to your advantage. Number 7, don't have an all or nothing mindset. Don't think that if you miss one day working out or if you ate too many high sugar foods that you're a total failure. You absolutely cannot beat yourself up and think that way. Listen, old habits die hard, even when you've created new, healthier habits. All it takes is a moment of weakness combined with negative influence, and you've got the perfect recipe to send you spiraling down the rabbit hole of regret. If you don't catch that train, if you don't get back on that train fast enough, all that hard work you've done is going to be for nothing. So that's why I'm urging you to not think this way. Don't spend too much time beating yourself up. Use those moments where you did fall down as tools to propel yourself back on. And what? Go back to your why. Why were you making those changes and you had gotten to that point? Why in the world are you going to let yourself fall down and not get back up? You already know what that life was before you got started. You already know that's not what you want. So why go back to that? You have to keep getting up and keep fighting for what you want. And this is a journey. These points that I'm going over, you're going to constantly have to apply them. I surely do. I have my ups and downs, but the good news is I can get back up. I can fight. I can push myself to do what I need to do. But when I'm down, it's horrible. And I know how that feels. Trust me, I do. But this is such a good visual. Don't slash your other 3 tires just because your 4th tire got a flat. How crazy would that be? Don't do that to yourself. And number 8, you got to love yourself. You got to take care of yourself. Think you loved yourself enough to watch this video and be a part of this program. But you got to keep loving yourself. You got to take care of yourself. Self-care is critical, absolutely critical with how you feel. A lot of us do feel guilty when we put ourselves first. And again, I've been there too. And I've also been dragged down by this many, many times. You absolutely cannot give someone else something that you don't have yourself. If you take care of yourself, you'll be happier and less stressed. And then you can share that happiness with those around you. Here's another little fun visual. Think about when you're on the airplane and right before they take off, the attendant's going over the emergency protocol. When the oxygen masks fall, who do you place it on first? Yourself. And then you can help others around you. So breathe in that oxygen and know with confidence that it's okay to enjoy doing things for yourself. Take time for yourself every single day. And number 9, now we're loving ourselves. Now we need to create and have a strong support system. Healthy relationships are critical. Knowing how to navigate and make your careers as healthy as possible. These things are critical. Whoever you're surrounding yourself with need to be people who are supporting you and lifting you up on your goals. The people that we share time with the most can easily influence our choices. If you find yourself tempted too many times, you're falling off the healthier lifestyle way too many times to the point where it's offsetting your progress. That's what you have to be mindful of. You need to take a hard look at the people you're sharing time with. I'm not saying you can't still have those relationships, but you need to be cautious how much time you're giving them, at least until you're strong enough not to slip up so much. You need to build up the willpower strength within yourself. Maybe that's a few weeks where you kind of just take some time to yourself to get to know yourself a little bit better and build that strength up in your mind. Then slowly start putting yourself in some of these old environments. You may have to make certain changes there temporarily until you can get yourself mentally where you need to be to achieve your goals and keep them forever. One little thought with this is I want you to be strong enough to fit out. Okay, think about fitting out because everybody's trying so hard to fit in. So I want you to be strong enough to fit out when you're hanging out and stand strongly with your healthier lifestyle. Be that example, be that inspiration. And don't worry about fitting in and bending your will to stand with others with their unhealthier habits. That's why it's so important to be around people who are on a similar journey as you, because we can all work together to help each other. And that's why I've created all these group programs where I've created these support systems. It is scientifically proven to work at, I want to say the statistics, you have like a 60 to 70% greater chance by having a support system, by having a friend who supports you. So just keep that in the back of your mind. And then number 10, of course, here I am, hire a health coach, and you're watching this video, so you're definitely considering that route or have done that route. And like I said, I offer an array of programs. So whatever your goals are, there's life coaches, business coaches, whatever, personal trainers at the gym, whatever it is you're trying to do. If you keep hitting a bump in the road and you're stuck, temporarily hire a coach to get you over that, and then you'll have even more knowledge and information under your belt, more tips and tricks and tools of keeping you on track to keep moving forward. Because like I said, this is a journey, and we just got to keep going. Fall down, get back up, but whatever you do, just keep going. So I hope all these points were helpful for you, as helpful as they've been for my life. When I was in school, I was 50 pounds heavier than I am now, and I was sick all the time. My why is I self-healed myself. I went on a self-healing journey when no doctor could help me. I couldn't keep the weight off. I had eczema breakouts, panic attacks, bladder infections all the time. And no matter what I did, my weight, it was yo-yo, and I was always heavier and just so uncomfortable in my own body. So for me to figure out that, hey, I was thinking about it all wrong, because I was always, I got to lose weight. What can I do to lose weight? And I was torturing my body to lose weight, making myself sicker along the way, doing all these programs that just weren't working or weren't healthy for me. As soon as I figured out how to get healthy, the weight came off, and I now have freedom from the scale. I only weigh myself now, like before I'll start a program and when I finish a program, just for, tracking purposes. But I do not get on the scale every day. I don't even get on it every week or every month. I know some people that are married to that thing, and that one little number can destroy your whole entire day. So I want to be able to give you that. I want to be able to help you have the body of your dreams, freedom from the scale, wake up feeling absolutely incredible almost every single day. So thanks again for being on this, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.